column. Right when we were starting the video. That's perfect time. Good job.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. That's all right. All right. Had cough the entire class period. That's all right. So today we're starting. We're continuing 1-5. All right. Composition of functions. So right now, I'd like you guys to write down the symbol. Ready? F of G of X. This little circle means the word of. All right? I want you to understand that when it says F of G of X, we're going to take G of X and plug it into the function of F of X. So right now, if I said F of X is equal to 2x squared minus 5 times x plus 1, that's what your equation is when you're plugging in an x. But we're going to do something a little different. We're going to say F of, not x, but G of x. So we're going to say 2 open parentheses squared minus 5 open parentheses plus a 1. And wherever there was a value for x, we're going to actually plug in 2x minus 3, because that's what G of x is actually equal to. So we're going to plug in 2x minus 3 right here, and 2x minus 3 right here. All right. Really? Wow. Again. So here we go. What I want you to do, I'm going to do 2 open parentheses, because 2x minus 3 squared is 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. Yeah, we're supposed to have sympathetic yawning, not sympathetic coughing. All right, so let's go ahead and distribute this real quick. So we're going to get that out of the way. All right? What's negative 5 times 2x?
Negative 10.
Negative 10x. And what's a negative 5 times a negative 3? 15.
Plus 1, which is just positive 6.
Right, so we're going to say plus a 1 gets us to a what? Positive 16. So right now, we have a 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a parentheses right here because we're about to do the FOIL method. And I'm just going to put minus 10x plus 16. Hopefully you will recognize that we got the 16 just by adding the 15 and the 1. If you did, that's okay. Just go back to algebra 1. All right? Now, what we're going to do next.
That's kind of so. Looks like we really didn't get it.
Oh, we'll be okay. Nobody's watching this anyways. All right? There we go. 2x times 2x. You're right.
Can you tell how many views you get on this? Can you tell how many people watch it?
Yeah, I think I had like one of that. I had one that had like 4 views. All right. That's okay. You'll be watching it when you're taking remedial courses at the local junior college.
I ain't going to college, so.
Oh, okay.
The next one is
No, I'm
negative
going
6x.
All right.
And after that is negative 6x.
Slow down. You're making whoever's watching this confused. So we have 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared. We have 2x times negative 3, which is negative 6x. Now I'm going to change colors. Because now we have to do
Negative 6x again.
negative 3 times 2x, which is a negative 6x. And then,
Positive sign.
because
Negative times negative is a positive.
that's right.
Oh, gosh. So smart.
There we go. So right now, what do you need to make sure you know how to do? You need to know how to do the FOIL method first, outside, inside, last. Okay? There's other videos with more fun people than me.
Hold on. Outside, inside, last, and what does the F stand for?
Okay, first,
Oh.
this right here, these were the first numbers, the 2x times the 2x.
Okay, I got it.
Then, well, now you made me start explaining. Once I start, I can't stop.
I just got
Then it's the outside numbers, the 2x and negative 3. Then it's the, not the I inside, the inside numbers. The negative 3 times the 2x gets you that negative 6x. And then finally the last numbers, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive. So there we go. So in all seriousness, what we need to do is we need to simplify this. So right now, what's the only thing that can be combined inside of these parentheses? Right there.
I mean,
But minus 12x
Okay, 1 second.
plus 9. Minus 10x plus 16. Now, listen up, everybody. You have to use the order of operation within this. All right. Notice what have I not done yet? I still haven't multiplied everything by 2 because I'm trying to get everything inside the parentheses cleaned up before I do that. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to distribute a 2 to every single number inside. So we're going to double everything. When you double everything, you get 8x squared minus 24x plus an 18 minus a 10x plus a 16. So now I'm just going to highlight things that are alike. So I have a negative 24x and a negative 10x that are alike. And I also have a positive 18 and a positive 16. Now, it's easy to recognize that they're alike now that I've colored them, okay? But when you're scanning, what you have to do is you got to evaluate what can you actually combine together. So a negative 24x and a negative 10x. Now, this is my daughter has an integer test today. And what we talked about last night is if you have minus 24 and you have minus 10, that's like you spend 24 bucks and then you spend 10 more. How much did you spend?
34.
That's right. You spend 34. Last night she was thinking, how do you get negative 34? It's like negative numbers is money that you spend. Positive is money that you have. She's separate. All right, so she's working on it. She's got a test today. She's going to make 100.
Is she coming here too? Would she do
I hope so. So we got 18 plus 16. You have $18, and then you get 16 more dollars. How much do you have now? 34.
Oh,
Okay? So everybody, what I need you guys to write, listen. F of G of X equals this function. All right?
that's a lot of work.
What we just did, we composed two functions and we put them together. We put one inside of the other. All right? We put G of X into F of X, and that's one of your answers. So every single one of these, let me explain what you're going to need for all of your answers, okay? You're going to need this. You're going to need F of G, not fog, F of G of X. You're going to need G of F of X. And finally, the last one that it asks you to evaluate is what is F of G when the number is 3. So these are the three answers you're going to have on problem number 5. Now we already know this one. What was this one? This was 8x squared minus 34x plus a 34. That's what that was. Now we're going to do G of F. Now this one's actually the easiest. Let me rewrite what we have here. Ready? F of X equals. I'm going to put G of X equals. Now, what is G of X by itself equal to?
2x minus 3.
2x minus 3, right? And what was F of X by itself equal to? 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. Now, here we go. If I say, what is G of F of X, that means I'm taking F of X, and what am I doing with it? I'm plugging it into G of X. So G of X by itself is 2x minus 3. But if I take 2 and I open up the parentheses, and then I take away 3 right here at the end, what am I going to plug in right here? I'm plugging in F of X, right? So this is where F of X goes. And F of X is 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. You guys see how this one's a lot easier than the last one? Because what we don't have to worry about. We don't have to do that. We don't have to square it. Otherwise, that would be really tough.
Oh, wow. So
All right. So now, what's the only thing that we have to do, Josiah?
you gotta just distribute the cylinder there.
All right. Just distribute. Go ahead. You do it.
Okay, so I got 4x squared
So far, so good.
minus 10x
Okay.
plus 2.
Plus 2. And And then don't forget, what do we have to do at the very end? We got to put that. Good.
So at all, at the final answer.
So here we go. Final answer. Here we go. G of f of x equals. Go ahead.
4x squared minus 10x minus 1.
-1, because a +2 and a -3 combined together to equal a -1. So this right here is the second answer. All right? So right here, g of f of x was 4x squared minus 10x minus 1. So right now, for problem number 5, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. And why don't you guys write these two down, not in your journal, but on your paper. All right, here we go. Right now, you guys see where it says f of g of 3? If you've done this correctly right here, then all you have to do, everybody, is take your equation for f of g of x and simply wherever you see the value for x, plug in the number 3. So I'm going to take 8x squared, and instead of an x, I'm going to plug in a what? A 3. And then I'm going to say minus 34, open parentheses, and once again, I'm going to plug in a 3. And then I'm going to add 34. And so you have a calculator, you can simply plug that in. I'll show you right now. You just do an 8, you open up a parentheses, you plug in a 3, and then what do you do to that 3? You square it. And then you say minus 34, open parentheses, you plug in a 3, and then what do we add at the end? We add a 34 at the end. And voila. You get your answer 4. So now you have all 3 answers. So right now, let me be perfectly clear. This right here is your answer box. You have 3 answers. There's your first answer. Here's your second answer. And last but not least, there's your answer when you plug in a 3 into f of g. All right, so what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to tackle 3, 4, and 6 on your own.